I was about to say happy good morning. Happy good morning, everyone. Hopefully you can hear me okay. The microphone is down there because I don't want it directly next to the TV because I figured that would pick up the game. And I'm hoping it doesn't pick up the game too much there. I've put it there with success before when we've done this. But today is...
Fitness boxing too.
It is the morning.
おはようございます。
Behold.
来ましたね。
Look at the days in the
ほら、
rows.
早くエクササイズで汗を流
Well, I'm
しまし
covering
ょ
it. Hold on. There we go. Or maybe I'll... Where should I put this? Put it up here. I guess this is the score normally is. If you look at the days in the row section underneath the calendar, you'll notice that it says 999. You can't hear me. Okay, thank you. Alright, let me lower it like this, maybe. Let's see. Okay. Good, bad, awful. Because I mean, I can, I suppose. See the hard part. See, I could do this, but I feel like this might be asking for trouble. But yeah, it probably is from there. But we'll see. We'll see if I knock everything open and destroy my computer. But days in a row underneath the calendar is it's down there. Day 999. So today is day 1000 in a row. So that's fairly exciting. Like, it's not just 1,000 days of doing exercises, like, you know, like off and on or those things. It's 1,000 days in a row without stopping. So that's today. So I don't know, I'm excited about it. I don't really like celebrate tons of things. Like, I celebrate my birthday, I guess, by going and eating like a tasty meal. But besides that, I don't really like do too much. And like, you know, celebrate holidays here and there and whatnot, but it doesn't like spark a ton of joy. Most of the time it's just like, oh cool, I have a day off. Neat, I get to sleep in. You know, like the spark of joy is not always necessarily there. But it's day 1000 in a row of fitness boxing too, which is pretty exciting, because that's a lot of things to do, and so I'm pretty happy with myself because, like, you know, I've gone on work trips, I've gone on vacations, you know, visiting family. I went, I'm trying to remember. I don't think I went outside the country during this time. I don't think. Though I did keep my fake grand order daily streak going before when I went to Japan in like 2018. But yeah, so 1,000 days in a row. And I didn't really do it for any particular reason. One of the good things that Switch people do. Yes, exactly. Like the fact that I can bring it with me into my hotel, and then, like, you know, it has a screen, and so I can just set it up. I don't have to bring like a bunch of cords or anything like that. Is super handy. Even if it was like a little bit tricky sometimes with that type of thing. So, and there were never, I can happily say that there were never really any days where I cut it close, like where I forgot or that kind of thing. I can think of maybe one instance where like I had to do it like at 11 at night or something, just because I'd been traveling that day, I think. Like traveling and busy and other stuff or something. But it wasn't ever like a, oh no, I'm not gonna make it. It was like, oh, I'll just do it at this time because I'll be home then. Whoop. I'm hitting the cord already. So, it's good. Ooh. What's my view on the new console for the Switch 2? Well, I watched the Direct the other day. I think it was Wednesday or Thursday. The day it happened, I watched it in the evening that day before I streamed. And it looks good. Like, I did kind of feel like the leak that happened a few months ago maybe forced their hand a little bit earlier to like kind of start announcing things, but also the fact that their launch date is June 5th, I think it was, tells me that maybe it wasn't really a big issue, or they're planning to do it anyway. But the screen looks nice. The fact that they're advertising 120 frames per second is cool. Like, that's always been one of the things about the Switch, is like, you know, it has a low frames per second and it's noticeable in some games, and so you get all the people who are like, oh, it's better to play Zelda on a modded one where you can get 60 FPS because it's just better. And I've never really been a person who cares about FPS, so it doesn't bother me that the Switch is low, but it is a nice upgrade. And like the screen being 1080p, I think is really nice. Like being able to do that, just because like there's definitely games that don't look as good when you like record them and everything like that. But I think one of the things that I'm most excited for, I guess, about the Switch 2 in general is that they're like is compatible with, it sounds like in general compatible with games on the Switch. Even if some like have like a upgrade like patch thing to like make them able to like take advantage of other stuff, it's cool. I know everyone right now is kind of like up in arms about price points and everything else. And I don't know. I'm not bothered by the $450 price tag or $500 if you buy Mario Kart World with it. Not because not just because like, yes, I have expendable income that I can put that against, but also like just thinking about it. I mean, one, this is actually a great example, right? I've played this game every single day for 1,000 days in a row. And so as far as value goes to like, I don't know, I can't remember if I bought my Switch for like $250 or $300, whichever one it was. But that's pretty damn good to get like that much stuff out of it. And there's been like a lot of really, really good games on the Switch as well. And so like, I feel like as far as like your money, like what you're getting with your money goes, the first Switch gave a lot and also capitalized on like the pandemic and everything else in just the perfect way. But so like Switch 2, I imagine that the price point and the fact that, you know, we're not all in a giant pandemic anymore might hit a little bit harder. But all the launch titles that they were showing during the direct were really strong. Like the fact that they had so many to show, and like including like an exclusive with From Software, is telling. That says like, yeah, like they've been preparing for this and they're ready for it, and they're like, it's not going to be like a lackluster thing like the PlayStation. What is it, 4, 5, whatever they're on, the one with no games, right? Like they're definitely avoiding that situation of like having a console that doesn't really have much going for it. It does look like that they are doing the typical Nintendo thing of having a gimmick of some kind with the dual mouse controls and like that thing and everything that they're showing off, which like that's actually like really clever, honestly. And I could see potentially them like getting like really good support for like RTS games and that kind of thing. Like bring back StarCraft N64 and put it on the Switch 2, you know, because you now have a mouse. You pre-ordered the Switch 2 with markup on it. It's only £35 extra. Yeah, like, and that's a good deal. And I know, I think the other day was telling me that like the games are like $80 or something. So, you know, getting a discount on the first game in the bundle makes a lot of sense. So that's a good strat from them. I haven't decided if I'm going. I don't know if I'm going to personally get the bundle or not, or just buy the thing and then call it a day. Because like I own Mario Kart 8, I think. The more recent one on the Switch, and I played it a bit, but I haven't played it a ton, so I don't know if it would be really worth it for me. Who knows that you don't need anything else to display the games you're getting PS5, you still need TV. That's true. That is a good point. Especially like the Switch 2's like the screen is really good, right? Like the resolution. They talked about how they increased the pixel density on the handheld screen itself. So it sounds like you'll be going like either from your TV or to your couch like with the same screen resolution essentially, unless you're doing like a 4K upscale thing on your TV or whatever. But like that seems pretty great. It does make me wonder a little bit about it's like, will all my games on my current Switch work? I don't know. The compatibility thing, I feel like maybe if I had one complaint is that I don't really like the Switch cartridges. And I like they're basically the same between the two. They just did more miniaturization and whatnot to make it fit more and all that other stuff. But like I always feel like I'm gonna break them. Like whenever I'm holding a Switch game, it's like the scariest thing in the world to me, because like even pressing it down into the Switch and such, like I feel like if I just like sneeze, I'm gonna break it in half or like move the wrong way. And so I assume that they did this partially so that, you know, because of the backwards compatibility, you want to put your Switch 1 games in and everything else. But I almost wish they had made like the cartridges bigger and then just put an adapter in for the old games or something like that, because just personally it feels like I'm gonna break it. But I get why they would keep it like basically as little SD cards and everything else. So because that's like all they are really. Like a Switch cartridge is basically just a what's them called? An SD card. So, but yeah, I mean, all the features they were showing off, like they showed off like the chat and the video thing. The video thing where they had like the like little Switch camera thing. I am curious if you can do it without the Switch camera. Like, can you use a different camera with it if you wanted to, if you had the same like jack or something? Or like, could you use that to make streaming easier when you're streaming from the Switch and you want to show your face? So I don't know. But the chat features are interesting because like it gave me the feeling of like trying to bring back 4-player co-op, like couch co-op and that kind of thing with people. It also gave me fond nostalgia for yelling at people for being like, oh, you were screen cheating. Like people looking at the screen and whatnot. Price-wise, Mario Kart's the only new game at 80, others are 70. Gotcha. I mean, like they've been expensive for a while. Like on the Switch store, it's always like between 50 and 70. So I think like people are talking about the price point of those things and etc. And I've seen a lot of like angry folks with like, oh, the Nintendo bootlickers will just take like, they'll just take any price and bend over for it and all that stuff. You can use any compatible camera. Oh, okay, cool. I didn't catch the part of that, or if it was in the fine details. That's cool though. I don't know if I would personally use it that much, but it is neat that you can, and like that you can do like your screen and then your friend's screens and such, so you can like help someone to do stuff or like do co-op or those things. Like I feel like there's a lot of potential with that type of thing, not just for weirdos to send dick pics or that like engage in like omegle-ness, because I assume that all the voice chatting stuff and everything is probably gonna be limited to who you're friends with, I would assume. Otherwise, Nintendo's probably not going to enjoy the amount of moderation they have to do for that, given the way that the young gamers think. So, but I feel like you could do a lot of cool things with it. Like, I mean, any co-op game, like the ones from that one Nordic developer who swears at conferences. He does the one with the two parents getting divorced and stuff. And they made another one, I think, recently, like the two girls who are writers or something like that, I think. But I feel like the Switch 2's like co-op stuff could potentially do a lot of that. Well, hello, Yin. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm pretty happy about it. I'm like more happy about it than I thought I would be. There's a third-party piranha plant camera. Oh, that's fun. Oh, people are gonna get creative with those. I can see people getting like fun little streaming subs or just like novelty cameras. That's good. But yeah, the fact that Metroid Prime 4 is a launch title as well, that's pretty good. When I was watching the Direct, I wasn't thinking that like nothing was particularly selling me as like, yes, this is a day one purchase kind of thing. The From Software's Dust Bloods does pique my interest. Elden Ring on Switch makes a lot of sense to me as another game because like that's just a lot of investment in time. Though I do wonder about the look and feel of it though versus playing on a PC. So, but yeah, I don't know. Like I know I should be happy about this, and I am happy about this. But also when I was thinking about it yesterday, I didn't really have like I'm like, oh, tomorrow's day 1000. That's cool. Like there wasn't. It was like here, and then like I was getting ready to stream and whatnot, and then I don't know. I just like feel myself smiling. I'm like, oh, this is nice. It's like 1000 days. Like I did a thing. This is good. So, and like, we can talk all about fitness stuff because I've had over the course of this, I have both like been heavy, I would say, been like a few pounds more than where I am today. I've also dropped 50 pounds below that by dieting, essentially, and not really like dieting in the way that I think the word brings to mind, like not being like, oh, I must now only eat salads or that kind of thing. My diet, and I talked about this before. I feel like I talk about it every time I do a fitness stream. My diet was literally just counting calories and not going above my deficit. So I ate McDonald's and Domino's and all the unhealthy things because that's what's kind of available to me in my immediate area. I don't have a grocery store. And so I just ate Domino's like twice a week and would just eat the leftover pizzas and like, you know, only eat this many calories of it because they priced it out per slice. That's not quite the right way to say it, but you know, you can see how many calories are in each slice. So I would use that and then like use an app to keep track of it and everything like that, do estimates on the other stuff I was eating, have cheat days every now and then, and all that stuff. And I did that for like a year. Yeah, I did that for like a year and I lost 50 pounds that way. So I got like down to like an area where I wanted to be more. And then I think I went back home for Christmas or something and like fell out of the habit kind of / like didn't necessarily need to be as rigorous with it, and my weight slowly climbed back up basically from eating normally. So now I'm kind of back towards where I was before, but like not in a way that I'm unhappy about, I guess. So this game has seen that dip and climb again. So not that I couldn't stand to lose some fat, but overall I'm pretty happy about it. And throughout the entire time I was doing this, so I think it's a good example of like you can exercise all you want, but if your diet isn't good or you're not like paying attention to what you're doing or like overeating or undereating and triggering starvation mode, whatever thing you're doing, you're still going to end up like, you know, maybe not in your ideal form. But that said, if you can commit to doing 1,000 days in a row of something, you can probably commit to doing 1,000 days of something else. So like I am fully confident that if I looked in the mirror tomorrow and was like, wow, I really hate that and don't want to look like that anymore, then I could just be like, all right, let's go. And then just make the change from that day on and you know, do what I need to do. So, but like, it becomes more of a habit than anything. Like, if I wake up in the morning and I don't do this, which, you know, I haven't in a long time, but if that was the case, it feels weird. Like, if I don't start my day by like going to the bathroom, brushing my teeth, and then like coming over and doing the workout, then it feels like something's off. So, but it's fun though. It's a good time. And allegedly, all your progress or something, some form of stats and those things will transfer over to the third game. And I've been waiting until I hit this milestone to go over to the third game, because I played the demo of it before, but it didn't have the transfer feature unless you had the full game unlocked. So I actually purchased Fitness Boxing 3 this morning, and it's downloading in the background right now. It said it was going to take an hour to download, which is kind of weird to me, but also I've been having plenty of internet issues, so I assume that might be part and parcel of it. So we'll see. But yeah, going back to the Switch 2 though, like I said, the launch titles look really strong. They don't have a new Mario, as far as I recall, and I'm excluding Mario Kart as a new Mario. That's not a new Mario. Like, no matter what they do, it's like, oh, you can drive around the world. That's not really the same thing as having a platformer. So, there's no new Mario, which is surprising, but maybe that will change and they'll come out with something, because like it feels like you get a new console and you get a new Mario. But this time we're getting a new Metroid. So I'm okay with that. And Metroid Prime 4 looks really good. Pretty sure the Mario team is doing Donkey Kong. Okay, that makes sense. It does have that flair. Though I will say, I'm not a big fan of the way Donkey Kong looks right now. Like he's too, like, angly. I don't know how to say it. Like, he doesn't look furry. Like he's so spiky feeling. And I feel like they're doing that. Like, it made me think about the Mario movie, which was good. The Mario movie was good. But it's like portrayal of the Donkey Kongs and those things, the monkeys. I don't know, it reminded me of that. It's probably going to be a really good game. I mean, I haven't played a ton of Donkey Kong games. I think the last like real Donkey Kong game I played was the Bongo one, the Jungle Beat on the GameCube. So that was a long time ago. Has there been a new Donkey Kong since? There must have been. There's been at least a new Jungle Beat one, right? There was a second one, I think. Guess you're not gonna look at his face. That's fair, yeah. But yeah, you're right. It does look like old concept art. Because he was spikier back then. I'm like remembering like I think like an 80s or 70s style like concept art piece. So yeah. So I mean, they're going back to their roots, I suppose, but also it feels very different, because in my mind, when I think of Donkey Kong, I think of like Smash Brothers Donkey Kong, and he's smooth, I guess. Or like the do you remember the 3D show with all the singing that used to be on TV? I also think about that Donkey Kong, which like has really good music, weirdly enough. Donkey Kong Returns on Wii U and Tropical Freeze. Right. Yeah, see, I never played any of those. Donkey Kong just hasn't like been a thing. Even growing up, like I'd go to my friend's house and we would play N64 together, and he had the Donkey Kong game. And really the only thing that I remember us doing with it was like watching the intro. And we played the multiplayer, but I was complete garbage at it. And so I never really had much fondness for it, and we never played the single player mode, because we were always going to just play the multiplayer mode because we were together and that kind of thing. So I never got into it. And also I was watching a was it, I can't remember if it was a what happened or if it was a retrospective video. It might have been a retrospective video. Maybe Liam Triforce, if he did one, on on Nintendo 64's Donkey Kong, and like how massive of a collectathon it was, and how ridiculously huge it was. And it's like, I don't really mind that I did play it, because it just kind of seems like a big pain in the butt. I like the destruction angle with the beginning game though. Yes, I do like anything destructive, like that. Like if environmental destruction was like big in the aughts, right? And I'm glad that it's making a comeback, or I hope it's making a comeback, because that's always really, really fun and satisfying when that happens. So, like I said, I'm sure the Donkey Kong game will be really good, but it doesn't necessarily, like, for me, it doesn't pique my interest, I guess. And like I said, like it's like, oh, like what launch title would make me buy this game? Would buy the console day one? Metroid, maybe, because Prime is really good. Oh look, Fitness Boxing 3 is done. Like Prime is really, really good, and I have the trilogy on I have the trilogy on the Wii U. I think it's a Wii game, but I play it on the Wii U. And I don't actually remember if I ever beat the third game. Like I 100% did the first game and used to play it a ton on the GameCube. And then the second one came out, and I definitely beat it, but I don't really remember much except for that one jump with the screw attack. Like, there's like a big open area, and like one path, and one path, and you have to like use the grappling hook, I think, to get to one of them. But one of the other ones is so far away, and there's nothing there, and you have to use the screw attack. And I remember getting really good with like the timing for the screw attack to do that. And so that's etched into my memory. But I don't really remember the third game. So I don't know if I might have been in college or something. When did the third game come out? Because I think Echoes, the second game I think came out maybe when I was in high school? I don't think it was middle school. I played the first game in middle school, because like the GameCube, was the GameCube like a turn of the century thing, like the 2000s? Never managed to get into Metro games. Tried on the Wii U, then retried the remaster on Switch, but doesn't keep my interest. Gotcha. I like the Prime games a little bit more than 2D Metroids. Like, I love Metroidvanias, and I love Metroid. Like, Dread was phenomenal. But Prime holds like a special bit in my heart, because it satisfies a lot of the itches that I get from like exploring games in general, but also combined with the Metroidvania joy. Where like my favorite thing about Metroid Prime was the scan visor. Just like walking around as Samus on this like big deserted planet with like random critters and things going around, and like having no idea what's going on, and then like just being able to scan things and then read the lore and like put together little pieces of things, or like reading the Space Pirate logs and like the way they talk about your character, and like how you can see like their logs kind of react to like what you're doing as you progress through the story, and like letting you kind of know about like, you know, stuff down under or hidden away in labs and like experiments and all sorts of stuff. Like it gets the brain going for me, and like that like gives my mind something fun to think about and do while I'm also like physically exploring the space and collecting the items and opening new pathways and doing all the good Metroidvania goodness. And like Prime did a really good example, a really, really good version of like that immersiveness for me, especially as a kid. So GameCube started 2001 and Wii was 2006. Okay, so I think Prime must have been 2001. Echoes must have been 2006-ish then, because I feel like Echoes came out with the Wii U or like closely after. So 3 must have been near the end of high school for me, maybe? I don't know. But I'm whatever it was, I'm pretty sure that I was busy at the time, like with life stuff, like whether it was work or maybe getting ready for college or something. I don't know. But I know that there was something that like prevented me, I think, from playing it. It might have just been access to the console, to be honest, because I never had a Wii. my friends had Wiis, and so I'd go over to their house and play with their Wii. So this is sounding like a Beatles thing. I would go over their house and play games with them on their systems, but I never actually owned a Wii. The Wii U I bought after college, so I wouldn't have been when doing that stuff until like 2013 or so, 13, 14, whatever it was. I don't remember exactly the date that I bought a Wii U, but I bought it to play Monster Hunter 3 because my friend wanted to play Monster Hunter 3 with me. So. Hold on. This is one of those combos that just kind of keeps going. All right. Wasn't going to try and be Metroid Prime 4, but with the mouse controller, whenever. Oh, that's true. Oh, that's a good point. I hadn't thought about that. Because, like, with the echoes and, like, the motion controls for the Wii one, I never liked that. Like, I mean, like, it's cool as a gimmick that you can, like, aim in that way, but in practice, it's a pain in the ass. So, I much prefer, like, actual controls. But you're right. If you can do mouse control for her gun, wow. Just thinking about that in general for FPS, for first-person shooters on the Switch, like, that could actually make... Huh. I kind of hope that, like, if they do a Call of Duty or any of those, like, you know, the generic military shoot games on the Switch too, that they take advantage of the mouse control for the shooting, because that's actually like a really, really, really smart idea. Though I also hope that you can shut that off. Because I do like aiming with joysticks. I am a controller plebe when it comes to those things. Like even on my PC, if I do play FPS, if I can, I prefer using a controller. Like I couldn't do that with Half-Life, which is one of the reasons why I like stopped my playthrough of Half-Life 2, where I did. I'll get it back around to it one day, I swear. But I stopped it where it was because mouse and keyboard controls with like the hand that way and then the mouse, they hurt my wrist after a while. And so I prefer controllers because it's a lot more comfortable for me on the wrist. So, oh, there's options. Any shooting game on the Switch 2 will have it as an option along with this. That would be ideal. So I hope that turns out to be true. But yeah, Metroid Prime and Dustbloods are the ones that stood out the most to me. I don't really care about Mario Kart. I imagine that I might end up picking it up at some point just to play with friends, the few friends I have who do such things. I am curious if there's going to be a new Splatoon at some point on the Switch 2, because Splatoon 3 is still going pretty hard, as far as I can tell. I haven't played it in quite some time, but I'm pretty sure Ditherdown still does his Splatoon days, and there's still plenty of people playing. So, and there's still competitive Splatoon, which kind of blows my mind. I mean, esports in general kind of blow my mind that, like, you know, that people compete and watch this. Like, I get it because I used to watch StarCraft matches, because like my brother was super into StarCraft, like Brood War, not 2. Though I mean he's into 2 as well, but like StarCraft Brood War specifically, and like you would download the like the Liquid Team Liquid, I think. Like they would host their the files that they had for replays, and you could watch the replays, and like people would study them to understand like build orders and like people doing this or that, and you could watch them, you could see the strategy come up, and like you would get better if you like understood what they were doing. And so my brother used to watch those, and like I'd watch them a little bit so that I would know, and so that when we played it was okay. I think that I managed to get my brother into a draw once, and maybe I won once, but besides that, he always won when we would play StarCraft together. So, We're doing a Splatoon 4 release next year. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Because, like, I'm assuming that if it wasn't noted as a launch title, then, like, anything big is probably not going to be on there, right? Though, I do wonder, do you think that Silk Song will come out on the Switch too? If it comes out eventually? Because Hollow Knight's on the Switch, I'm pretty sure. They have a version of it. Poor Team Cherry. Oh, we're in No Mercy mode. Alright. But it's exciting though. And I will definitely get a Switch 2. It's just a matter of timing. And as you know, timing is difficult because my original plan, right, on the Xenoblade stuff was to be done with 3 before I started X, but here we are, and I'm juggling back and forth between the games. So they showed Silk Song in the trailer. Oh, did they? Did I miss that? Like, was it in the sizzle reel or something? Because I completely missed that. I will have to go look, because that is exciting. Hollow Knight is really, really good, and they have a lot to live up to, which is why, for myself personally, I'm not going to buy into the hype as best as I can. Like, I mean, obviously, I am excited. It's like, oh, cool, like a follow-up to Hollow Knight. That'd be awesome because Hollow Knight was a really, really, really good game. But I don't think I'm going to go into it with the thought of like, this is going to blow the original Hollow Knight out of the water. It's going to be amazing, and it'll be everything anyone ever wanted to, and a slice of bread. Like, I'm going to go in with the expectation that it's probably going to be a pretty good game because Team Cherry is pretty competent. But that's it. But I am excited for it because it was a really good world, and the music was great too. I'm a big fan of music. I don't know if you've noticed this from the Xenoblade games. Or the fact that I'm doing a rhythm... Oh, shoot. Doing a rhythm game to music. But I like such things. I was listening to the Xenoblade Chronicles X soundtrack for during work yesterday. That was my background music as I was doing stuff, which is very good, very enjoyable. And then later that night I played more Xenoblade X, so it was good. So I was a bit tired, so I didn't go too hard. Like for a while, for at least like a few months, I feel, I was drinking a Monster on Fridays in order to stay up. And I didn't do that yesterday. I thought about doing it, but I didn't because I was concerned about potentially like upsetting my stomach or something, given that I've been relatively ill frequently this past month. So finish my lunch. All right. Well, thank you for swinging by. I appreciate the conversation in the chatter. Hope everything gets cleaned nicely. And if you ever need some motivation, just remember, if I can do this, lazy gamer man who just wants to lay around playing Xenoblade can manage to do fitness boxing for a whole bunch of days in a row, then you can probably do it too. If you ever needed that kind of thing. If you're the kind of person who gets motivated by that kind of thing. I actually have a whole playlist for Ring Fit. When I played Ring Fit and beat the story adventure. I think that took about a year. There's like 70 something videos in that playlist because I would stream it once. Was it once a week or twice a week? I think it was twice a week. I think it was Tuesdays and Thursdays, I believe, were my streaming days for Ring Fit. So Ring Fit is really good though for a workout. I would say that it is better than this game if you are looking for a workout, but the only caveat there is that this game is a lot easier to keep up with because you don't need anything except for the Joy-Cons. While if you're doing Ring Fit, you need to have the Ring Fit controller, and if you're traveling, you need to travel with the Ring Fit controller, which is a bit bulky. You know, it's like a foot by foot, maybe a little bit more. And so packing that into a backpack or or that kind of thing is a little bit more difficult than just bringing a Switch. Keep wanting to start Ring Fit, but there's always so much to do when your kids are older. Yeah, I get that. It is a time commitment of like normally at least a half hour. I think, though you can tweak it because you could probably technically only do like a couple exercises with it. Like you don't have to do the story mode if you don't want to, I guess. Or like you could just do one exercise. But there's definitely sometimes where like it's a bit of a more major time commitment. So like some of the boss fights in it, I remember, especially like near the end when you're doing the big fights against Drago, I think was his name. Some of those took like 40 minutes to get through the level, and that was like, you know, an intense workout, which is kind of the intention. And it was really good. So, and it's very lighthearted. Like it's good. It's a very good game. So I would recommend grabbing it. But maybe they'll come out with one for Switch 2. That'd actually be kind of cool if they had a new Ring Fit for Switch 2. I wonder if, I mean, if they call it Ring Fit, I guess they have to include the Ring controller. But, and they kind of need it because you do like the Pilates pushy type thing or whatever. I think that's Pilates, right? Where you have the like bands and those things. And that's kind of what the Ring is simulating. But it was really good. And it will get you sweating. Which is good. This game will get you sweating too, but only if you... I think that there's two paths to the sweat with this game. The first one being just do it on hard mode, which is what we're doing right now, because I wanted a longer session for the stream. Because they do... You get the longer sessions, and so you're more active for that time. I think you can still work up a sweat with normal or even light mode if you are being very intentional with your punching and your movements. For me, I view this as maintenance. Like this is make sure you're still healthy kind of thing, like bare minimum. And so like I don't necessarily like put my all into every single punch, you know, especially when I have a wire dangling right here. That's a major a major detractor to me doing something like that. But if you were doing this like very intentionally without this and etc., then like if you do like put a lot of focus into every punch, everything like that, you can like very quickly and easily work up a pretty good sweat, I think. Especially when it's one that has like a lot of repeated jabs. The other thing is like how intense you are about the footwork, because like, you know, it's got the thing going back and forth to tell you where your foot should be. And so like, you know, if you're just bobbing back and forth, which is what I'm doing right now, I'm kind of RPGing. That's what I would call it. That's like, think Final Fantasy, like the classics where they just kind of like bob a bit. I'm doing that. Like I'm bobbing with the beat and like kind of back and forth a little bit. But you could make this a lot more intense by actually like you know, doing the boxer thing, like actually like kind of hopping on your foot, like being light about it. I don't think I can do that with this wire on me though. But if you do that, then you're also going to build up a lot more heat, I think, and get a pretty good workout that way. So I think this, like any workout, honestly, is all about what you put into it. It's what you get out of it. So, and if you're just doing it for like, I want some cardio, want to get my heart moving a little bit, and then call it a day, be ready for my work, like just kind of get the blood flowing to like energize yourself. Light mode and kind of taking it easy works perfectly fine for that, I think. If you want like the high intensity, then I think you have to be very, what's the word, intentional with it, I guess. So the other thing is like the problem that I've had is that if you are like intentional that way, sometimes you get a bad score. Because like when you it's a game, right? And the controllers aren't perfect. And so when you do like a punch or something, you do need the uppercut's a good example of this actually. Like you need to pull your hand back a bit, like it goes like if you watch my hand, right? Because you need to trigger the controller to do it. But if you were actually uppercutting someone, you know, for all of us who go around punching people, if you were to actually uppercut someone, you don't want to pull your hand back like that. Like if you're trying to knock someone out because you are trying to defend yourself or something like that, then you should be punching through people, right? Like you don't, like when you aim at someone's chin, you're not aiming to hit their chin and then pull back right away, right? Because that takes power away from your punch. You want to aim like to punch into their cheek or like up into their mouth, right? Like you want to punch through them because then all the power is going to come through that and hit them, right? And so you can't really do that with this game because you need to trigger the controller. So like you're pulling back. I mean, you're probably actually, you know, maybe going a bit further than their chin. But like if I was to just punch and then like hold it like that, it got it that time. But I've definitely done that before in the past when I was like kind of near the end of the workout and being very, very, very intentional and trying to put as much effort into like the last few sets as I could, where it just doesn't register when you're doing that. So again, not saying you should go around punching people. That's probably not a good idea. But if you had to defend yourself, like you shouldn't be holding back, right? And pulling back in order to like trigger the motion control in the Joy-Con is holding back. So punch. See that? Didn't quite pull it back at the right moment. Also, as far as like not getting bored goes, because I think that that's kind of an important thing when you're doing something like this, for as long as I've been doing it, is you need to make sure that it doesn't get stagnant, that it doesn't get boring. And for me, the thing that actually made it so that I didn't get bored was at least two things. Well, three things. Okay, the three things to not get bored. Here you go. Here's my YouTube tier list. I guess. The first thing is changing the instructor's outfit, which Fitness Boxing is good about because it has a whole bunch of different clothing options. You can change like just the top, you can change the bottom, you can change their hair, skin color, eye color. You can make them look however you want for the most part within the confines of what they have. And so whenever I finish a workout, I always change their outfit. And then the second thing is that I don't stick with the same instructor. I always change it day by day because there's like 12 or 14 instructors. There's a good amount of them, which Fitness Boxing 3 has way less of. But I always change my instructor because it keeps it different every day. And so like rather than seeing, you know, Lynn or Martina or what's his name? Big dude. See, I remember Guy's name because his name's silly. It's just Guy. But I don't remember the other guy's name. Bernardo, I think it's Bernardo. Whoops. Sorry, was lost in thought about Bernardo there. It's like, that's his name, right? But like swapping between them like adds variety and keeps things a bit more interesting. So doing that helped. And then probably the thing that, you know, keeps it the most fresh and interesting is that after you've done this for like a month, like a month or more, you've seen pretty much through a month, if you've been doing it every single day, you've probably seen at least half the catalog a couple times of the catalog of exercises and sets and those things. And so they do start to get familiar, which could lead to boredom. But because they're familiar, you can kind of go into autopilot mode in the same way that you get like road hypnosis. And like you can zone out a bit. And the zoning out is fine, I guess, but better than zoning out for me, I have the TV here, and then my computer is actually right there, and so my monitor where I'm looking to see the chat and OBS and everything is right there. And I typically have a YouTube video on, like whether I'm watching a Let's Play, a What's Happened video, anything that doesn't really require your actual eye attention on it to like understand. Oh, hey, I got a new record. Look at that. We're ending on "You're Gonna Change." It's good. That's good. You're gonna change. You've done it enough. Very motivational name right there. But yeah, like having having something that's more auditory with like maybe a little bit of visual sometimes that you could like glance down at is good. Like it passes the time. It's like the same reason I think people listen to audiobooks when they're driving and that kind of thing, because it gives you something to do rather than just that. And you know, there's a million things to say about distracted driving, etc. But in the same way, especially on the highway, like after you become comfortable with it and like you kind of instinctually understand and know how to keep your car in the middle of the lane and everything else, like you do fall into that road hypnosis, and it becomes mostly automatic as far as driving goes. So I like this song. Oh, that's another thing. Buy the DLC. The DLC, I mean, for this game, there's also DLC for Fitness Boxing 3, which I already bought. But Fitness Boxing like generally releases at least a couple DLCs, and they include new music, and that's helpful because you, in the same way that you get used to the sets, you get used to the music you're hearing too. And so you can get road hypnosis about it, but it's also kind of nice to have something different and interesting. Though some of the music in this game is very questionable, I will say. There's one, what's the name of it? It's like I'm an Ocelot or something. It's something weird like that. And it is the weirdest piece of music to work out to. Maybe we can find it after this. I might be able to find it in the menu. But it's like it's not one of the like the tracks that's just Fitness Boxing like music, like yay good. It's one of the like the licensed pieces, which I mean, like, sure, I do like a good Darude Sandstorm, which they have in here, and that is good workout music. But also, some licensed music is not workout music in my mind. I don't know. When I was going to the gym, like in the past, when I lived near a gym and I could walk to it, and would do so in the morning a couple times a week, which I really enjoyed. I wasn't a huge music person, actually. Like, as far as doing stuff during a workout, I don't know. I kind of like just listening to the gym noises. If I was doing cardio, like running, then yeah, I would listen to like Clock Up Flowers from Shibuya Records. So good, like, electronic music and like Toho remixes and that sort of thing. Those were my go-to for running, because with running, having a beat to run to is really nice and a good way to like have a steady pace and like how I keep things going so you don't accidentally slow down because you're starting to feel tired, and instead you like keep it up and kind of hit that point. But like lifting, like any of the stuff, like any of the presses to do or lifts or anything like that, I didn't care for having music during that. It was very much just like I wanted to be with the weight. And like really focused in and tuned into what your body was doing and whatnot. So, which I guess maybe that's also the same thing. Like in the same way that running is just walking but faster and actually extending your legs. But it's also something you can do kind of instinctually and like fall into the road hypnosis mode. While lifting, I don't really have that for it. So maybe eventually, if I did that enough, maybe I would listen to music as a thing to distract or something during that. But I just like counting when I was doing like lifting weights and those things. So I will say that there is something very satisfying about just doing something for yourself. Which maybe that's why, like, I'm like, oh, 1,000 days, look at that. Like, no one asked me to do this. No one challenged me to do this either. Like, I was streaming Ring Fit, right? And I did that, and I wanted to get through the story mode and do that as a thing for the stream, and it was a lot of fun. But the punching has always been, like, for me, something that I do in the morning before I work. And while I streamed it a few times, like as part of the workout or like as a warm-up for Ring Fit, or just like checking out the demos and that sort of thing, I got it for me, and I've done it for me. And it's never been a thing about like trying to like, it's like, oh, I really wish that I had better shoulders or something, right? Like whatever gets worked out by this. It was always very much like part of trying to be healthy, trying to make sure that I'm not like completely sedentary in what I do, right? Because I work at a desk for a living, so being able to actually move around is good. Additionally, it was also a thing for me for language study, because you'll notice she's not speaking English. I took Japanese courses as a online thing, or well, online thing at the end, in-person thing before the pandemic, and it was really enjoyable. And this was like listening practice, kind of to hear that sort of thing. And some of the instructors I like more in English, and some of them I like more in Japanese. She's one of the ones who I like in Japanese more. She gets like in English, she has like a Minnesotan accent. She's got like a Midwest sort of thing, which is fine, but compared to like this, she has like a very relaxing voice. Like, I don't know, it's like a caring voice. So I like that in an instructor. I guess she's like tomboy Onesan. It's good. So generally speaking, I don't think about like if I have a type or not, but thinking about my prior girlfriends that I've had, or ex-girlfriends I suppose rather, I probably have a bit of a type. And I change the instructors every day, right? So I do change them all over the place, like hair color, eye color, skin color, outfit, whether they're wearing like, you know, pink, yellow, blue, black, white, whatever. But Lynn's my favorite instructor. I think it's her voice, but also I think the short hair is really cute. So. But yeah, I'll definitely be using Lynn in Fitness Boxing 3, I think, for the most part, because they did cut down the number of instructors to like 4, and they also added more like get to know them things where like you're supposed to stick with them for a bit longer. So I feel like I might end up maybe not rotating instructors every day, but maybe rotating them like every week, maybe. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. It will be very much a whatever I feel like mood-wise at the time. So, not that it really matters for all of you. It's not like I'm going to stream those daily workouts. So I mean, technically I could. It is very regular. It's like either 7:30 or 8 o'clock in the morning my time is when I stream this, or when I would stream this if I streamed it. But also, I don't really know if I want to do that. Like I said, this is and has been for me. It hasn't been a like I want to show off and do thing or anything like that. The fact that it is where it is, where we're at 1,000 days in a row, isn't because I told someone I was going to do 1,000 in a row. It's just because I wanted to, and that I happened to do it this many times. And like, you know, once I hit like 300 days, I was like, huh, wonder how far I can push this. And then, you know, Fitness Boxing 3 got announced sometime later than 300 days. I was like, oh, I want that. But also, like, it'd be I don't know if they'll transfer the data because they didn't transfer it between the first and second game, I believe. So I'm like, well, I'd like to hit like a good round milestone before swapping games. And so that's what 1,000 came from. I was like, you know, I'll do it at 1,000. That's what I'll do. All right, sorry, just doing a bit of a happy dance here. All right, here it comes. I need to take a screenshot. This is one of the things I do that I have done this entire time is I do post in my Discord that, like, you know, I did my workout basically. I had a whatchamacallit, a designated channel for like just posting and being like exercise motivation, because like when I see someone doing something, it motivates me to do it sometimes. There it is. There's the I want to say money shot, but I feel like that's not a that's not a good term. All right, it is done. And you know what? I'm even gonna be a terrible person and at everyone, because that's just the kind of thing this is. So there we go. That's pretty good. Hold on. Let me walk away for a second. I'm gonna go to the scale. Okay. 1982. Oh, this is technically wrong. Alright, there we go. Oh, let's I want to show you guys that hold on. Wait, no, where is it? Song list? Song list. This one. I'm an albatross. This one. This is such a fucking weird song to work out to. Like, why is this in here? It's just weird, bouncy spring ding dong music. Anyway, sorry. Excuse me. Wait, no, not that. We don't need basic training. We're well past that. But the funny thing is, achievement-wise, I haven't 100%ed the game because I just don't do free exercises. But that's the only thing. Like, so literally the only thing I never did was free exercises, because I always just do my daily exercise and that's it. So that's, I don't know, it's kind of funny. And my data, let's go here. Let's look at the graphs. So by month, see? So you can see like pretty steady as far as the calorie burn, because I was doing, you know, the whole thing all the time, essentially, right? And I wish that I wish you could zoom this out like further because it only keeps track of a year, basically. Because like, you know, you can see I've been steadily basically at the same weight, roughly, for the entire year. And I think that like a lot of that's just maintenance, right? Like I'm not dieting. I haven't dieted this entire year. I haven't been calorie counting or anything like that. And I just keep steady at this thing. And I feel like doing the maintenance that I do with this is one of the reasons that is the case. So, but yeah, you can see. When did I start this? Can I actually go back far enough? Oh, here we go. Okay, so apparently I started this in 2022 on the 11th of July. So there we go. Every day. So the one last thing that I want to do before I end the stream is I want to boot up Fitness Boxing 3. I'm not going to do a full workout or anything like that, but online it said that it should detect the data and it should like import it, I believe. So maybe that's what this gray screen is. Maybe it's crashing. Advertisement for Fitness Boxing 3, the game crashes. Oh no, there's a loading screen. Never mind. I just didn't see it. I just want to see, does it detect it? There it is. Found save data. I'm going to say no. Or, see, I'm thinking I should say no because I don't know if the demo data is going to conflict with my personal Fitness Boxing 2 data, you know? There it is. If you'd like to pick up where you left in Fitness Boxing 2, you can import the save data from that game to this one. Yes. Allows you to upload records to the internet. Yeah, sure. Oh, that's right. They had the social feature in 3.
Fitness Boxing 3, your personal trainer.
Developed by Sin Sophia Inc. You've played Fitness Boxing 2 tutorial. You want to skip it? Yes. See, that's what I like. But I just want to see if it carried over the days. Yep. Hi, Lynn.
Moving on, I'll register your basic information in my data. That's used to calculate your estimated calorie burn and BMI.
Yeah, so you hear her voice in this compared to the Japanese version we just had.
How old are you? When is your birthday?
I'll enter it later.
How tall are you?
I think that's right. I think we measured that before.
What is your weight?
Also, why is this in not freedom
What
units?
is your target weight?
I don't know
You can
that.
set a password for... Thank you. Now then, let's
There,
start
look,
with the
it carried it
daily
over.
workout.
Look at that. It carried it over. All right, so I'll let you know if I get to 2,000, I guess. All right. Well, anyway, thank you all for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. If you're ever like thinking that you need to change, right? And you want to change, like it's not someone external trying to force you to do it. Like it's something that you want to do and that you want to be motivated about doing. Personally, I find streaks to be an extremely motivating factor for this type of thing. Like just the act of doing something every single day, or even not daily, but like every Wednesday I do this, or every Saturday I do this. Anything like that to me is always really motivating, because like giving yourself that consistency and then sticking with it and then being able to tell yourself that like, hey, I did this and I kept up with this, and that's not something that everyone does. And being able to use that as motivation to fuel and like dig in more and more is to me pretty powerful. And here's the results of that, right? Total days played 1,000. So thanks for hanging out. Hope you all get good workouts in. And if you haven't played Fitness Boxing and you're looking for a game that's easy to pick up and like just do as something to give yourself a bit of maintenance or whatever, this is a really good game for that. So anyway, have a good rest of your day, rest of your night, whatever time it is, wherever you are.